All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another video. On this video, we are going to be watching Footballin' with Ben Roethlisberger. We are going to be watching a clip from his podcast or show or whatever this is. I believe it's like a podcast. If you guys don't know, Ben said some things about the Steelers and kind of the whole world went upside down. I remember seeing Stephen A. Smith talk about it. I've seen the graphic over and over and over again about just one kind of quote from it. Here we got an 8-minute video, an 8-minute, segment or clip from the actual show. And so I want to actually see it. I want to see what he said, and maybe I can give some insight as, not the former Super Bowl quarterback for the Steelers that Ben is. But, maybe I can add something. Maybe I can see if he was spitting or not. I know a lot of people just saw the quote and are either super riding with Ben or they're super against Ben. Let's watch this whole thing, this whole 8-minute segment. If you guys enjoy Steelers videos, I make videos about the Steelers. So if you enjoy this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We just hit 350 subscribers. We are growing. We are out here trying to get to 500 by the end of the year. Is that possible? I don't know, man. Let's see. But yeah, once again, shout out to Big Ben. Shout out to Footballin' with Ben Roethlisberger. This is obviously his podcast. Starting it off good. W Pitt merch. We got Pitt Panthers representing Pitt. That right there is a W, so this can't be too bad.
I felt that certain guys on the team aren't in it for the team; they're in it for themselves.
Hopefully,
now
guys
some
can
guys
hear
on the
this
team are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So maybe I wasn't too far off when I said that, but
like a little football
I know
prophet.
that I'm retired. I just don't, I'm not in the locker room. I get it, but it just feels like that. It just feels like that's something that's kind of been lost on this team a little bit. It feels like the Steeler way is just not. Listen, you've got some great leaders on defense. Don't get me wrong.
We do.
But
Cam and TJ and Minka, but you've got two sides of a football.
That's what I'm saying. It's just
a team.
Who is that guy? Who is that guy? If it's not the quarterback,
You don't have it on offense. I mean, you can bring a veteran football player in. Okay, Mason Cole, Isaac. I mean, you can bring guys in that are veterans, but they're not. Just because they're a veteran football player doesn't mean that they're a Steeler. Like, they know what it is to be a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Right.
When I left, I was kind of the last guard there, obviously. Like, Pouncey left the year before, Dave left. Like, those guys left, and it was like I was the last one. There was such an age gap for me and everybody else on offense that there just wasn't that Steeler.
All right, so early to start, all of the quotes I've seen, all of the graphics I've seen, they did not include, like, on offense, the on offense portion. From the quote graphic I saw, it was just like maybe the Steelers have lost their way, like just in general, in general. And, seeing that, it's like, maybe we just lost to two win teams. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of that. We just lost to two win teams. But I mean, there was the TJ there is Minka there is Cam there, and you say that they are all on defense, but it's like, all right, we have, some kind of veteran people that played with Ben at the very least. Like, I don't know if Minka per se is a Steeler by Ben's definition, as he just said, but I think, Minka's a pretty good presence for us, a pretty good Steeler. Same thing with Watt, same thing with like Cam. But once again, he is saying on defense that we had those people, but on offense, it's not. From the quotes I saw, there was no specification of the sides. It was just the Steelers in general have lost their way. So that right there, watch the whole clip. That's why you watch.
Tradition passed down, and you have it on defense. Don't get me wrong,
right?
But you don't have it on offense right now, and it's just making it really hard. You're not seeing, in my opinion, the toughness on offense. And I say toughness in the sense of a Steeler toughness. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with like okay, this guy's soft or anything. Like, who's grabbing someone by the face mask and being like,
Yeah.
It's not. No.
Who is doing that, Ben? Who is doing that? Who's doing that?
Is that happening?
Is it?
And yes, again,
Ben, all right, let's cut the bullshit now. Ben, it's not happening. Can we be honest, bro? Can we be honest? Ben, you're saying this because it's not happening. Like come on. And maybe, maybe it is. Maybe Ben is just out. Maybe there's no contact, no nothing. But Ben, that's not happening.
You have guys on defense doing it, but you need guys on both sides of the ball doing it, because when you're in offensive meetings, when you're in offensive huddles, when you're doing that, you're meeting separately. You need someone to stand up in that room on offense and be like, hey, this isn't what it means to wear the black and gold.
Yeah.
This isn't what has been handed down from those teams in the 70s. The Steel Curtain, the 4 Super Bowls, the Knowles, the Bradshaws, all those people. It's unbelievable.
Right.
And listen, I understand the further you get away from that, the harder it is.
Sure.
I get that. And
unless it's being carried.
Unless it's being passed down and carried the right way. But when the Kiesels left and the Farriers, the Fanekas, the Wards, the Bettises,
All right, bro. We are naming some older players. I'm not going to lie, Ben. We talked about passing it down. You had 10, 15 years after these guys left to pass it down yourself. To choose somebody to carry the torch. Granted, there's a lot of fluctuation on the team, especially on offense. We had the Mike Wallace, we had the Santonio Holmes, we had the AB, we had the Juju, we had all these people, and they're all gone. We look at the running backs, we've had the running backs, they're all gone. All the offensive linemen, they're all gone. Like there was nobody that Ben played with besides like now Naj, I guess, that like was there for a while even, because we know Ben, he kind of played a little extra time, if you catch my drift. Like we know Ben kind of stuck around for a little bit longer, and so maybe the torch would have been passed. Like say Ben goes away is crazy, but say Ben goes away in 2019, like I still think we have at least fucking Juju setting the culture, ladies and gentlemen. And we have like Juju still there, like. I don't know, but Ben, like, I see what he's saying. I definitely do see what he's saying. However, isn't it on a person like Ben to ensure that it is passed down? I feel like you can't be like, oh man, how did this not get passed down? Like, it's clear they lost their way. When you yourself, like, probably played a big factor in how it didn't get passed down, To me, that's my take on it. Ben, you had a lot of opportunity to pass it down. And all of a sudden, you were the last one with it. It's like, you were the last one with the hot potato. Hot potato, hot potato, hot potato. What does it mean to be a Steeler? Steel Curtain, Alan Fanka, Jerome Bettis, like the people you said, hot potato, hot potato, hot potato. You were on the hot potato. You had the hot potato, and you took it home. I don't know. You didn't leave it. You didn't pass it to somebody else, it seems. Based on what you're saying, you didn't pass it. So, hey, let's pass it next time.
You can go down the list. When those guys start leaving, they passed it.
Right.
It's a matter of the person that it gets passed to.
Oh my guys! I promise I haven't seen this. I haven't seen, bro. I haven't seen this. What did you do with it?
I can give you the answers to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Are you going to take those answers and use them, or are you going to be like, appreciate you, old timer?
Yeah.
I'll take care of this.
Did you feel like when you got handed that you were responsible for stewarding something properly?
For sure.
The other way.
100%.
W question.
Yeah.
Jerome Bettis, Alan Faneca, like it was like, okay, Mr. Old Man, Mr. Rooney, Mr. Dan Rooney. You were like, man, I don't want to let that guy down.
Yeah.
I don't want to let the fans down. Like this is how it's done. That's what you were told. Like this is how it's done. And there was no like, well, what? No, don't even. Don't
really?
talk back. Do what we say. Okay, yeah, yes sir, whatever you say. And you did it. It was the same thing. Like when I got there, there was no music in the locker room.
Yeah.
You didn't blast music in the locker room.
Oh man.
Because
we have died on this music in the locker room hill so many times, man. Is it allowed? Is it not allowed? Is it good? Is it bad? Holy shit.
I don't know why. You just did it.
Because you did it.
And I remember when that, like, I was a big stickler on that.
Yeah.
When I was in there. Guys, hey, shut that music off. People be like, oh, Ben's in here, better shut that music off.
But it's more tradition for you.
Yes.
It was more like, hey, guys.
Because part of me, I did it, like, the reason that it meant so much to me is because when Mr. Rooney, when Dan would walk in that locker room, he didn't want it on. And he might come to your locker and talk to you. And if there's something playing, like he was so soft-spoken.
Yeah.
If someone was playing, like you couldn't hear him. Like I was waiting. And even when he passed away, it was nostalgic to me. Like I kept waiting for Mr. Rooney to walk in that locker room, because he meant so much. He took a chance on me. Like,
low key, I am just kind of watching this. I don't know how I'm going to edit it, just throwing that in there. But I am just gonna, like I said, this is my first time watching this, getting some information from Ben. Hopefully you guys enjoy this too.
I love him. And so, like, that's one of the reasons I told Cam and Vince Williams that. I said, listen, guys, I know that people think that I'm like this jerk.
Cam and Vince, I just realized Vince, they're both, well, Cam's still there, but Vince Williams, shout out to Vince Williams. He's gone. But I did fuck with Vince Williams. He's still a great follow on Twitter. Ended up retiring too. Like, he didn't play for a different team. Shout out to Vince Williams.
Like, oh, Ben doesn't want music in here. Like
the old guy.
But I'm like, this is why.
Yeah.
This is what it means to me. And this is what was passed to me. And what I'm trying to pass on, that the locker room, when you're playing music and like this guy in the corner's got this playing, this corner's playing this, and this corner's playing this, and you've got all this stuff going on, it makes some of like the older, like, okay, I'm just going to leave a lot. I'd just rather not be in here than hear this. Or Like, I can't even talk to you because I'm hearing this music. I don't want to hear this kind of music or any kind of music for that matter.
You don't
All right, Ben, with the I hate rap music takes, Ben, you just listen to the music, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm standing on this. The music is not the reason we just lost to 2-2 win teams, man. Play the music, bro. I see what you're saying, Ben. I do get it, but bro, we don't gotta hate on the new music, man. Because if we were playing like fucking, I don't know, Sticks. If we were playing Renegade in the locker room all day long, like there would be no problems. We could play it. But you know, whatever. Maybe I'm hating.
want to have to talk over
I'm
Lil
hating.
Yachty.
It's
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Ben hates Lil Yachty. Shout out to this guy.
unbelievable.
Ben
And
hates
so
Lil
I try to
Yachty.
explain that to them. Like,
Yeah.
this is why I am who I am or why I'm this way. And whether they, some people hear it. Some people, they're like, I think they're like, okay, Ben, appreciate you telling us. But things didn't change.
And that's one example.
One small listen, because you play music in the locker room doesn't mean you win or lose. I get that.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I'm talking about the tradition and the history and what was passed to me.
That there is reasons behind the things that you do.
Yeah.
And
that's what meant a lot to me, and that's why I try to do it. And then at the last 2 years of my career there, I was like, listen, here's why I don't. If you guys choose, I know I'm the odd man out of this. Everyone else wants it. If you guys want to do it, do it. And they did it. And I was like, I accepted it and was fine with it. But it felt like this changing of the guard was happening, and it was different. And again, it's not why you win or lose. I get it, but it is just different from.
So that's pretty interesting. So it seems like Ben was like, yo, turn that shit down. And Najee Harris stood up and was like, fuck you, Ben. We're playing this. No, I'm just kidding. That didn't happen. But it seems like that's what happened. I don't mean to name Najee Harris in that. But, Ben, name some names, bro. Name some names, Ben. Who is playing the music, Ben? Walk in your trap. Take over your trap. Who started it, Ben?
how do you think that happens? How do you think you take what was great back then and make it successful in 2024 moving forward?
I don't know. I mean, I've said on the show before that.
Fucking nice, Ben. I don't know. Ben, you are supposed to be our offensive coordinator in the future, Ben. What do you mean you don't know?
I felt like when I first got in this league, now part of it was because of the talent that we had, but when we showed up, we were up 3 or 7-0, depending on who we were playing. Second we got off the bus, 3-0, 7-0 us, because people were intimidated by our defense. People were intimidated at times by like how good our offense could be. I feel like some of that's lost. Now listen, I think our defense is still very intimidating, but I just feel like people aren't afraid to play the Pittsburgh Steelers anymore.
Yeah, because they know our plays. We've seen it over and over and over again. On offense, it's just so bad that they know our plays. And then on top of that, on defense, we have the talent. We have splash play makers. But as a whole, I don't know. I feel like our defense has just been kind of figured out, you know? Like, I feel like whenever teams need to move the ball, whenever it's time to all right, we need 70 yards in a minute. Like, dude, that just happens to us all the time. Like, unless we are playing the worst quarterback in the league or rookie quarterback or second string quarterback, you know, situations like that. And now, I mean, these past 2 games, who knows if that's even true anymore. But I feel like we skated by a lot of games where, like, the defense, you know, the defense is pretty good. But like this current defense, this current group, just necessarily isn't what Ben is referring to when he's talking about the great defenses of the past. You know, there is definitely a difference. There is definitely a dip. Not to say that they're horrible now, but I think we're a bit figured out on both sides of the ball, but definitely especially offense. Like, teams literally know what we're doing on offense
This year, maybe not
for whatever whatever that is. But I don't know. I don't have an answer to that question, but. Maybe it's just going to take some guys to get, or maybe the tradition of the Pittsburgh Steelers is done. Maybe it needs to be formed a new kind of way. I don't know.
There it is.
There's your headline, guys.
There it is. Oh, they knew it. He knew it.
No, yeah, that's interesting, man. Because I've been asking myself that.
Fucking
been asking,
maybe,
bro. Friends, watching this game, because it is obviously a different team that we're watching, and not like just how teams are different every year. It just feels something's off, man. And we hope that you right the ship. I don't want to be. I think it's easy to play in extremes, right? It's like, oh my gosh, one bad year, sink the ship, sell the team.
Yeah.
It's like, well, guys, it's.
Well, they've sunk a lot of money into the defense.
Yeah.
And
Ben. I should let him finish, but Ben, do we really need to talk about sinking money into a position, into multiple positions? We're talking about as a whole. Remember when we were sinking money into your one position, playing whatever? Ben,
It's
finish
starting
it.
to show a little bit on offense.
Right.
You don't have any high-priced free agents on offense. You've got some really talented
Deontay, he's on his second contract.
guys on offense, and George and Deontay, and
Nice.
some young guys, but you need some. You're gonna have to start getting some money going the other direction too. But I don't know.
Yeah. Listen,
But I don't know. Yo, Ben, hop on Zaya and the Steelers, guys. If this video takes off, if there's anybody in the comments, if there is one viewer on this video, I need you to at Ben Roethlisberger at football. And Ben, we need to figure this out together, man. Because you don't know, I don't know. Together we'll figure it out.
Still, another thing is I'd like to. I mean, I know kind of just something completely different. I just thought of it because I'm watching someone kick a field goal. I'm not really sure. I'd love to know, and maybe he answered it, why Mike Tomlin didn't kick a field goal he went for it on fourth and like 2 or 3 in their own like you kick a field goal and you're down 1 score. Instead you don't get anything. I know you're trying to like put a dagger and get the first down, get a touchdown, this, that, and the other, but I don't understand why we didn't.
I was
Say it,
asking
Ben.
myself that.
Say it, Ben.
I don't understand.
Talking about
Say
things
it,
we
Ben.
don't understand.
Mike Tomlin, you suck via Big Ben. That's what he just said. Mike Tomlin, you couldn't clock manage an alarm clock. You couldn't set an alarm. You can't even call a timeout. You waste them all. You fucking, that's what Ben, that's literally what Ben said. No offense, Ben, I got you. Ben, I got you, Ben. That's what he just said. Mike, clean your shit. Get this shit together. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. There's only like 3 seconds left of this. Very interesting points out of Ben. This is definitely better than the quote read that has been going around that I looked at. So it seems Ben is specifically really calling out the offense when he talks about the Steelers tradition. I mean, we heard him say it like maybe it's dead, but that was like that was like a fuck it kind of idea, like he gave his little input, like, start paying more people on offense, start getting some all-stars or whatever, and it'll turn around. Or, maybe it's dead. Maybe it won't turn around. Shout out to Big Ben, man. Shout out to Big Ben. Big Ben, we need to get Big Ben on Zaya and the Steelers, man. This video was great. Shout out to the Pit Panther merch. Shout out to this guy, too. I still don't know his name. Hopefully one day I figure it out. You are awesome, man. W questions to Ben. But as far as, like, what we learned from this, what we gained from this, I don't know. I don't really know. I know the music in the locker room, that was a big thing. Man, if that's what it takes, turn that shit off. If that's what it takes to win, turn that music off, bro. Turn off the Little Yachty. Turn off the NBA Youngboy. Turn it all off, bro, because we stink right now. We absolutely stink right now. But, maybe, man. Maybe we turn that music off. We get shit going the right way. I don't know. Like Ben said, I don't know. But Ben, come back, be the OC. Do something, man. Shout out to the Pit Panther merch once again. Shout out to Footballing with Ben Roethlisberger. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. How can the Steelers find their way? What does it mean to be a Steeler? What is the Steelers tradition? But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, once again, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. Final shout out to Footballing with Ben Roethlisberger. I will leave the channel in the description for you guys to go check it out. Definitely go check it out on your own. Anyways, I'm out of here. See you in the next video.